again. I want to go out there and I want to protect other kids so this never happens to anyone else's child.
The family of a Fort Myers boy killed after being struck by lightning now filing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the church they once called their own.
The family of Jesse Watlington announcing they're going after McGregor Baptist Church following the death of their son. Four News Corner's Mike Mason speaking exclusively with the Watlingtons and explains why they're suing.
The Watlington family now hiring a high-powered attorney, suing McGregor Baptist Church and the school that is run by the church. Jesse's father speaking only to Fox 4 about why he feels this tragedy could have been prevented. Chuck Watlington says his life has become unbearable since losing his 11-year-old son, Jesse.
I just miss my son so much, and I just can't wait to get to heaven to be with him.
Jesse was struck by lightning last month during football practice at his school, Southwest Florida Christian Academy. Chuck says since the tragedy, senior pastor Richard Powell has refused to talk about what happened that fateful day.
I forgive Senior Pastor Richard Powell. I'm praying for him every day, and I'm praying for him to do the right thing. We're not looking to go after anybody. We just want to make sure this never happens again.
Chuck has now hired prominent attorney Willie Gary, and they plan to file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the school and the church which runs it, McGregor Baptist. We don't know exactly what the lawsuit alleges, but Chuck tells us he's angry with the church's pastor.
I asked him, I says, listen, it's been 6 weeks now since my son died, and you and none of your pastors that even come to my house one time to pray with me. You don't call to pray with me on the phone? It's like we're lepers.
We contacted Powell about this yesterday, and he said, I preached at his funeral. I want to take the high road. I don't want to refute what he said. Chuck says he wants answers, such as whether coaches used a lightning measuring device on that tragic day, as Pastor Powell told us last month.
As is our typical habit, the lightning measuring device that we had was operating.
All the kids had the same story. The kids that were on the field with my son, and there was just a handful of them, they've come forward with their mothers, and they all told me that they always saw that yellow box on the field, but on this day, it wasn't out there.
When we asked the pastor about the device, he told us, we always have lightning devices, but I don't know exactly where they were at the time. And Chuck says most importantly, staff members told him the two coaches who were supervising Jesse and his team did not know CPR. Although coaches at public schools are required to know CPR, private schools have their own rules. Chuck says he also asked the school's safety director if a defibrillator would have saved Jesse's life.
It can restart a heart, he says, but we didn't have it with us that day on the field.
Pastor Powell would not comment about this, but Chuck hopes by taking legal action, he'll get some answers before this happens to anyone else.
Well, I trusted my kid in their care, and he's in a cemetery right now.
Attorney Willie Gary plans to file the lawsuit Monday morning, alleging the church and school were negligent and reckless, resulting in Jesse's death. Live in the studio, Mike Mason, Fox 4 News Corner.